Hello there and welcome back. So in this video, we're going to look at another interesting topic, another feature of Plasfy that you may or may not have used. Blobs and waves. Both these are graphic tools that you can generate, and on screen you can see an image that I actually got from the illustrations element. This is not generated with Plasfy, but you may not be able to create something like this, but I'm going to show you exactly what you can do with blobs and waves. Before we begin, let me show you some examples of waves and blobs that are out there on the internet. So on this slide, you can see these are some wave designs on maybe PPT slides or something like that. These are different waves, and these are all graphic creations designed by professionals. So there's a lot of layering going on here, different colors, gradients, and so on. Can you create something like this? Let's find out. Here's another one. This again is designed by a professional, and these are smoother waves. These maybe not even waves. These are just arcs or circles layered one on top of the other to create this design. Anyway, let's look at some blobs. Now, when I type blobs into Google, these are some of the images that came up for blobs. These are really abstract shapes, I would say. These are not blobs, so to say. But in Plasfy, you have the option to create blobs, and I'm going to show you where and just how. So let's dive right in. To find the blobs and the waves tools, you go to elements. Okay, so once you log into Plasfy, you go to the left menu or the side menu, and you scroll down in elements. You find the blob maker and the wave maker right here in the middle. Okay, you don't even need to scroll, it's right there. So we're going to click on wave maker, and that brings up the wave maker tool. So this is the tool. Really? That's the only tool? Seriously, what can I do with that? I'm going to show you what you can do with that. So let's go to another slide. Now, this slide, the designs on this slide have been created using this wave maker tool. Exactly the same. Now, how does it work? Let's create a blank slide here, and let's try to add some waves. Now, down here, you can see the wave design, the wave pattern that has been generated using this particular setting. Now, it's going to be random. You may not get the same design every time, but this is how you can do it. Complexity, layers, offset. These are three options you have. Complexity, take a look. You can go up to 100 and look at the wave design at the bottom and see how it changes as the complexity increases. There are more waves. The waves are taller, thinner, peakier, if I may say that. Okay, and that's what the complexity does. It changes the wave from a smooth one. It still remains smooth, but it kind of, the sine wave, so to say, goes up higher. When you talk about layers, you can have up to 5 layers, and look what happens there. So you got another layer. You can see the little gradient layer, and you go to 3 layers. You may not be able to see all the layers right now, but there are 3 there, and there's 4 and there's 5. You're not able to see all of them. Now that's because our offset is at the lowest. Let's offset them. Now you can see different layers, 5 layers, which are being offset. When you offset them, they change the position so that you can see all of them. So that's the work of the offset. Now, I may be happy with this, I may not be happy with this, but let me change the complexity also. The complexity will change for all 5 layers. And now let's hit the magic button, which is randomize, 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 and look at those waves. Okay, do we like anything? Maybe let's go with this one. No, I don't want 5 layers. Let's go with 3 layers. Let's get the complexity a little more higher, up to 19. Offset, let's offset it to, the more you offset, the taller your wave becomes. So let's just offset to somewhere around 23. Let's change the color to something darker. So normally if you have the first or the top layer darker, you might get good gradients from the others. So let's choose a blue. Okay, and let's randomize again. Choose one that you might like. Okay, maybe this one, and let's add the wave. Okay, you got it, right? You got the procedure. So the procedure is very simple. You choose a complexity, choose a layer, I mean how many layers you want, adjust the offset, randomize it if you don't like what you see there, and then add the wave. That's it. Now this is what our wave is going to look like. The background though is very empty, it's transparent. Now what you can do with this here is click on this wave, go to your downloads and download the entire design, or you can just download this particular design. How do we do that? So if you want to download just this layer, you go here to the layer position and download it as a PNG, and you can just download this particular wave design and add it to your own PPT or anywhere you want, maybe a website, a section divider, wherever it is. But now we're going to make this look a little better. So we're going to go to backgrounds. I'm going to add a white background, and instantly this looks a lot better. A lot better. What if I don't like the colors here? Now, unfortunately, you may not be able to do much with this. So let me show you what you can do or not do. So when I select that, it works. Change the color. You like the design, you change the color. And you don't like the colors which are visible there, you go ahead and find some of the color that you like. And your wave design is customized to whatever you want it. So that's how you work with waves right now. So let me show you some examples. This is one example of creating a wave design, and you can have beautiful text up there. I've seen this in a lot of webinars, and those slides look really, really professional. And this is an easy way to make your slides for your training programs. Maybe if you're a tutor, maybe you're an educator, or maybe you're a marketer who wants to present something. This is one way to create beautiful designs for your slides. What's more is, if you know of any websites where you can sell these designs, go ahead and do it. Yeah, monetize it. When you want to do something, when you're spending time on this, monetize it. Very rarely do you see these kind of simple, minimalistic, beautiful designs online. Everything is so cluttered, but this is something you can do. So here's another design. Now this again is a wave. Believe it or not, it's another wave. So what I did is I'll show you what I do. So I took this wave like this, turn it, rotated it, put it to the side, maybe just this, and look at it. Would you even think this is a wave? No. But now let's see, I want it up there also. Let's flip horizon. Oh, sorry. Let's first duplicate this. Duplicate it. Okay, flip horizontal, right click, flip vertical, and then move it up there and adjust it to wherever you want it. Okay, let's say here. Or do we want this part of it? Whichever one it is, take a look at your design and get some nice thick bold text here, and your design looks amazing. You want it very symmetrical, try to adjust it so that it looks the same, almost there, right? So that's how you can create beautiful designs for your slides. Here's one that I created with green, and I just changed the text color. So let me copy this text and put it here. And when I select the text color, I'll be able to find this color here maybe. Let's hope I can find it. Yeah, there it is. And there we go. Neat, right? All right. Let me keep saving this. I want to save this these changes. Let's look at one more slide. Okay, so here it is. This time I put the waves on the left hand side. You can do it both sides so that it's kind of framing the text, but even one side, either on the left or the right, will do good. Now notice that I've got maybe 5 layers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 layers here. I can do just with 1 layer or 2 layers. anything. The sky's the limit. Here's another one. I've got two layers here, golden color, and I put some confetti at the background, and I've got this text to have a shadow so that it stands out from the background. Now this line here, these dotted lines, I don't know what they are. That's not a design that I put in there, but while I was adjusting a lot of elements that remained, but once I save it or download this, I don't think that's going to appear. So now what if you want to create something like this? Waves with different colors, right? You might think, how can I create waves with different colors? Now, can I do it from the waves section here? No, I can choose only one color and that's about it. Look, one color and gradient. So how did I do this? Yeah, I did this with Plasfy. How did I do that? So what you need to do is generate a very simple wave. So how many layers? Maybe maximum of 1 or 2. Maybe I'd say 1. Generate a complex, different complexity. Okay, generate a wave, add it. All right, then generate one more, randomize it, add it, and then select each of those waves and change the color to whatever you want. Now I just chose random colors here, and since these are going to be gradient waves, they're going to overlap and some of these colors will show through. These are mixed colors, that's not the original one. So if you want better results with these gradients, use some color palette from maybe colorhunt.co, or there are so many other websites that give you color palettes. Use those colors. So how do you do that? You get a color, pick the hex value or the RGB value, enter them here. Okay, hex value, or if you want the RGB values, put them here and you can choose your colors. So you generate your own colorful waves design. All right, so that's interesting about waves. I think that's all we have about waves. And if there's anything else, yeah, where do you use them? Use them in your presentation designs, infographic dividers, your website dividers, as elements. You can just crop them and use them as elements on your designs. So many different things. All right, that's enough spoken about waves. Now let's go to blobs. Okay, where do we find blobs? Right next to waves. Right next to waves, you click on the blobs and you have another generator here where you can generate different kinds of blobs. So what are the options for us here? Before that, let me show you some blobs that I created. Oh, no, wait, let's create another design, a blank slide. Let's go with white background. Let's go back to elements, blob generator. Now, this is the slider we have to generate different designs of blobs. Look at this here. Let's add, okay, let me show you what we do. This slider here, look at the blob design down there. It changes the shape, mainly the shape. It changes the shape. It starts with a blob and then it goes into some linear designs, and then finally it might come to a triangle. So these are some kinds of variations of rectangles, and finally we have triangles. So we have circles, different circles, and then uneven shapes, and finally we come to a triangle. So just remember, if you want circular or close to circular blobs, you stay on the left hand side. If you want something like a triangle, you're going to go to the right. If you want something like a square, you stay somewhere in the 80% mark of the slider. So right now we're going to go with something that's closer to a circle, and we're going to click on generate curvy blob. I think I like this. I'm just going to add it. Okay, so these look like mushrooms up there. It's not really standing out because of the white background. Let's change the background to black. Oh, there we go. We can see it very clearly now. That's the design that's been generated. Now, what are these options we have? Generate curvy blob. Let's click on that. Okay, you can see that the curve, the shape of the blob just keeps changing. So I generated one. Let's add and check the difference. Does it look any different to you? It should. See, here it's flatter. Here it's closer to a V shape. So it changes the shape very minimally. But it's the same color and same. How do I change it? Now I could go ahead and do it manually. I can click on the blob and change the color. I can change the color of the shape only. I cannot change the shape color of the outline here unless I can do it from here. Yes, from the stroke I can change the color there. I don't like this. Let's undo that. Okay, I don't want that. Now let's go ahead and check what this linear blob does. Click on that and it's changed it to something else. Linear. What's linear in this? It's just more not rounded, it's square or cut off, right? So that's linear. But now let's try randomized style, and I like this a lot. Randomized style. Check out all the different blobs. Now that's a linear blob. I don't want a linear. Let's go back to curvy, and this is a different style. Randomize, 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 randomize. Let's see. Do we like this? Let's try. Let's add it in. Okay, it's got pins up there. Now I might not be able to use this as much as I want to, but let's keep it there. Let's keep it there. I'm going to add some more blobs. Randomize, randomize. Okay, let's change this a little bit. Okay, this is a shape now. Randomize style. Okay, check out the different styles that are available now. Look at this one. Okay, let's randomize style some more. Look at this one. Now it's giving me things in the same color, which I don't like. Okay, there we go. A different one, a different style. Every time you do this, you'll get a new style of blob. Okay, now you might be wondering, what do I do with these blobs? Where am I going to use these blobs? How am I going to use these blobs? But before that, let me also generate some more. This is addictive. This is addictive. Okay, let's see. Maybe this one. This is a different kind of blob altogether. I've not seen this one in a very long time. All right, so you got so many different blobs, and look at this. All of them are kind of the same size. So you click on something and you resize to whatever you want it to be. And then you can place them wherever you want on your design, on your slide, and so on. Now let's look at some examples that I've already pre-created for us. By the way, if you click on reset style, this whole thing just becomes black. And randomize style again, and you go ahead and do whatever you want with it. Okay, so reset style. Let's add this one. Okay, we got a triangle, and then we're gonna. Right. So here we have different shapes. Here's an example. Now I created a blob. I just copied it. And then after I copied it, I selected it and added a mask to it. So the outer design disappeared, but the mask remained. And into this, I went into photos and just added in a photo. So you can use blobs as masks. So instead of having square or round, those are the normal designs on websites that you see for images, where you see images, but this one is different. It just suddenly makes it stand out because it's not a perfect circle, it's not a perfect triangle or a rectangle, and people are going to be curious. Oh, what's this? Why did they do this? And they're going to be curious. You can put them on thumbnails as well. Here is another one. So I've got a blob here. I copied it, I put it onto the side, and after I put it there onto the side, I just used the FX and chose, I think it was the first one or the second one of these, and this happened. Once that happened, I clicked on that, moved it behind this blob, and it's a totally new design. And check it out, the same shape. Look at this section here, look at this section here, it's the same shape behind them. So that's a good design. Here's another one. So once again, let's recap how we're going to do the blobs. First, adjust your slider to vary the shape, whatever shape you want. Second step, generate a curvy blob or a linear blob, whatever you want. If you generate a linear one, it's going to have sharper edges and flatter lines, edges, I mean. So this is also what you can do with blobs, right? You can add text into the blobs and have them as portions or sections on your infographic, or maybe your PowerPoint slides, or anywhere you want it, even on your website. You can have text. You want to highlight the features of a product, so you can put different blobs on your web page and add the features into each blob. Step 3, click on randomize style and get more variations. So I got some more variations here, and this one, so I just selected the blob. It is selected. I just change color to the background color, and that color is removed, and now it looks like there's only an outline. So you could do that. Step 4, add blob to your canvas using the add blob to canvas and change the colors. I changed the color. This was a different color. I changed it using this color option just to match my slide. And finally, use the blob handles to resize, and I already showed you how to do that. Now this one is tiny here, right? So these are different ways you can use blobs. Now here's some way that you should not use blobs. A busy design example. Too many things here. There's not much negative space. Negative space here is all just these blank spaces, and there's not too much. There's too many blobs. So don't add too many of your blobs or waves onto one single design. And finally, I've got blobs and waves together. Take a look. Blobs here in the corners, the top left and the bottom right, and the bottom left and the top right are the waves. I just mixed all designs together like I showed you earlier and created one more slide design. So the sky's the limit. You can do so many things with these elements. You just need to be creative, need to think about what you can do or what you want to do. And I think you're going to create fantastic designs with both these tools. So once again, let's recap. Where do we find these tools? You go to elements. Remember, elements. You don't get confused. And then you scroll down a little bit, or just look in the center of the screen, which my screen is big so I can see it here. If not, you scroll down and you'd see the Blob Maker and the Wave Maker tools right there. Click on them. Use the generator tools to adjust the variation, the complexity of your tool, and generate unique designs for yourself, or if you're ready, sell them to your clients. All right, so I guess that's enough said for one video. I hope you learned a lot. I hope you are excited as much as I am to use these tools. So go ahead, get these tools, use them in your designs, and tell us in the Facebook group how it fared. Show us some of your designs, and let's grow together. Right? There might be something I don't know yet. Maybe you found something. So let us know, and we'll be happy to work with you and share your joys with others. Right? Thanks, and have a wonderful day. I'll see you in another video.